Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. This is combo number 2. I'm Tom Flores.
I'm Travis Baker.
And today we'll be talking about
Fish Memento.
Finding Dory. I went in not ready to, I wasn't ready to like this movie.
This was like a sequel we didn't ask for, but for me personally, I was excited for it anyway.
Mm-hmm. And then
just cause
during it, and then at the end, I'm glad I saw this in theaters.
It is a good movie. It is a good movie. This is definitely the movie to take your kids to right now. I have a couple of problems with it. I don't know if I want to get to those right now, but we'll get to those later.
There was. But okay, first off, like every Pixar movie, there was a short. This one called Piper basically evolved around sandpipers. It was a mom and her baby. I think it was a baby boy. The dynamic and the connection and the chemistry just said a mother and son.
Okay.
And it was phenomenal. First of all, the CGI was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
That beats everything from like Lord of the Rings, from all 6 Lord of the Rings film. The 2001, what they used, even though it was minimal, but they still used it. All 300, all this beautiful CGI work. This one right here, even all other Pixar films, most beautiful thing I have ever watched. It was so beautiful.
Yeah, the beach textures, the way
the feathers ruffling,
even the way it was shot.
Water.
I put "shot" in quotes because, of course, it's all done on a computer, but like I don't know. It
above
really
the water,
great.
Underneath the water.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, and it said so much. It said what a 2.5 hour movie says in less than like 5 minutes. That's how good it was. It's a phenomenal short to really like just watch on its own.
Mm-hmm.
It said a lot, no words obviously, you don't need it, and it was great. It was funny. It got scary at one point, but then went straight to funny.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought like the moment we thought the bird was going to
I thought the bird was dead. And then also I'm like, oh, thank God. And I was laughing.
And then just was really like shaking.
Twitching and shaking. Did you like it?
Yeah, I really liked it.
It was really good. So now after the short, it goes into the movie. And what was interesting about it, it goes straight to when she's a little kid. That's where it starts.
It sounded like they brought in like a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old to do the voice of Baby Dory.
And it was amazing.
Oh, that's such a good choice.
The way she looked and acted, it almost felt like they put stop motion, those dots on the little girl's face, because even the facial expressions were like that of a little girl.
Mm.
Like they just went that little extra mile.
They probably
that's how it felt to me. I don't know.
Maybe they probably like, cause sometimes they'll record, and they're working on this right now, where like they'll record someone doing maybe they recorded the voice actress doing the voice. And then they just see, like, the faces she's making. They record that, and then it's not really motion capture, but they just simply observing what the face is doing and then replicating that on a computer.
Kind of like in a way how they did Matrix Revolutions. They didn't have them talk. They just had them look at a screen, their face, and they just did stuff. And they recorded them doing facial expressions. Okay. That's what they did for Revolutions. I know that during the final big fight. So I think, I like that. But and that paid off, and then it shows her after she gets lost, as she's growing up, she's wandering the sea trying to find her parents, and then it shows how she meets Marlin, and then it dissolves as they go away to find the boat into 1 year later, and where we're now currently in the film. And
this movie, so you know how Dory's short-term memory thing, it was kind of an excuse for her to have funny moments in Finding Nemo. Like, it's sort of why she's a funny character. Well, it's not as funny this time, because this movie goes all in on that. She's the main character this time,
and she works, like you did say that she works as a main character.
She works as a main character. This is the second attempt that Pixar has done in a sequel film, in which they took their comic relief character from part 1 and made, in this case, her a main character in part 2. The first time they did that, I'm kind of slurred there. The first time they did that was Cars 2 with Mater.
I didn't know.
Cars 2 is the worst Pixar film by far. It's the worst out of all of them. thankfully, it works this time because Dory is a much more captivating character, and they treat it like a disability. It was when the right from the opening scene when it shows the flashback of her parents talking to her, saying, "Oh no, don't do that," and then she has a short-term memory thing again, and she asks the same question she asked a few seconds ago prior, and then all of a sudden Dory says, "Oh no, I already asked that, didn't I? I'm sorry," and she feels so sad. And you're thinking, "Oh no." Oh my gosh! This is the movie about people with disabilities.
Well, because this is basically you could say a mental disability. This is what causes her to not be able to get back home. Yes, she was little, but she could have made her way back home if she remembered. This is the reason why she couldn't, and that's why, because it is sad. But there are funny moments with it, and she's definitely what you love about Dory. Because in this one they really expand more with her is that she just doesn't quit.
Yeah,
she's not a quitter, and that's what makes her more lovable in this film, and really you root for her because even though she knows it's almost near impossible, she's still going to do it, even if it gets her further and farther away from those she loves.
Yeah,
and that's why it works. And what was nice is they got the whole cast back: Ellen DeGeneres, Albert Brooks.
Yeah, with the exception of the kid who played Nemo, they got a different voice actor, but that's because
I didn't even notice the difference. Honestly, I thought it still worked.
That's because the kid grew up, so...
That makes sense.
I did read that, like, the original voice actor for Nemo did have a cameo as, like, one of the human workers at the aquarium.
Oh wow, that's how many... Oh my gosh, it's been that long.
It was 2003. I was in first grade when Finding Nemo came out.
It's been 13 years?
It's been 13 years.
It's been 13 years. Yeah, he grew up. Wow! This is why you said, like, it's not the one we were asking for, but it's what they gave us.
Yeah.
Because it's been so long.
And it's the right direction to go with a sequel to Finding Nemo. Because it was kind of set up in Finding Nemo where they mentioned something about a family where she says, I've seen Finding Nemo so many times that I actually know this word for word. She says, "Oh yeah, the short-term memory loss, it runs in my family. Or at least I think it does.
Where are they?
Where are they?
Yeah.
And it doesn't really come back to that.
Actually, yeah, that moment in the film was kind of sad because then you're left there with that awkward silence and she's kind of turning around. It's like, what?
Yeah.
And in this one, it goes...
Something's wrong with you, really.
And
you're wasting my time.
Yeah. And this one really goes deeper into it.
Mm-hmm.
And
a lot deeper.
Mm-hmm. And another nice thing is not only with her character growth, we get a definitely complete arc with Marlon.
Yeah,
this is like this
is definitely a post Finding Nemo Marlin. He's not as paranoid anymore,
but he's still in his ways.
Still in his ways,
and this movie
but he's more optimistic,
and he's more patient and calmer with it.
Like Nemo pretty much comes with him on this adventure. He doesn't tell Nemo, "Oh, you got to stay home." He's like, you can handle it yourself.
Mm-hmm. And then at the end, though, it gives him that full arc of he came really out of his shell. He's now closer. He might not be all the way because he will be never the same after he was with his wife and 499 of his kids died, or 299 of his kids died. But he got very close to it. He's back to who he used to be almost, and that's what's nice. Is like he won't ever be the same, but he's just there. Yeah, and that's where it's good, and that's what I like about the ending. Yeah. But in overall, though, the movie, the new characters we get introduced to, Hank the Octopus,
voiced by Ed O'Neill,
that was perfect. It was phenomenal.
Actually, he's a septopus.
That's right.
Because one of his tentacles is missing, which I didn't notice.
I never counted. I never noticed that.
I never got a chance to count.
An octopus's tentacles are always moving. That's why.
But you can't really tell. Remember the other octopus from the first one? You can't really tell that my tentacle is shorter. Especially when I twirl them like this.
That was adorable. I like how they didn't say much, but Pearl was in the background again with the seahorse and that.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Nemo's.
I also like Charlie and Jenny, Diane Keaton and Eugene Levy. They were cool because the parents, they were great. Eugene Levy. They were just adorable and great parents. You could tell they just love their daughter so much, and this is their only kid that they'll ever have. Mm-hmm. And they love her with all their heart, and they're trying their hardest and best. And here's the thing about the movie. I don't want to give it away, but here's the thing. Really pay attention when they talk about seashells. When you go see this movie, really pay attention to that because it does pay off in the end in such a way that is so phenomenal. It's just one of the best payoffs in a movie, and it's great.
Yeah.
So really pay attention to seashells.
Very haunting.
Oh God! Just eerie feel. Just this like, oh, it's great. But yeah, overall great movie. Take your kids. You don't even really have you. I think it helps to see the first one. Just.
It does. You do. I feel like it really helps to see Finding Nemo first. Which is, that's fine because this is the sequel, and it's okay to have that excuse for a sequel. It's like, oh, you probably should see the first one.
Yeah.
Definitely in this case, because this is, like I said, Marlin's a different person. Because then it explains how Marlin, Nemo, and Dory got together.
Mm-hmm. And then they don't bring them all back, but they bring back enough characters from the first movie, which just makes the experience better.
I hear that unfortunately we walked out of the theater, but I hear that in the post-credit, there's a post-credit scene.
I checked that up on IMDb, and I think it must have been a post-credit.
It was a post-credit scene where you see the tank gang.
What are they doing? Do you know?
I don't know.
Are they still in the bed?
I think so. I'd have to read the Wikipedia page again.
Okay, I know. I had a feeling we shouldn't walk out, but then after during the end credits, they have a little fun with the octopus because as we see in the trailers and the commercial promotions, the octopus can camouflage. Yeah. And so the end credits, they just have fun with it. Where in various scenes from the movie, he's just hiding and appears and does a funny face at you and then goes away.
Yeah, it's like playing a game of Where's Waldo.
Yeah, and I thought that was it, and I'm like, oh, I guess that was it. And then after that, but no, it must have been. Yeah, I would. Yeah.
Do you want to go into spoilers now?
No, I want to say the seashell.
Okay.
That's why, I'm saying that's why.
Because here's the thing: a lot of the problems that I said that I had with the movie are spoilers.
You can talk about the driving part.
Okay, that's like in the third act.
But that I get what you mean, but like that's not really a spoiler because of what you're saying. What you're technically saying about the driving, that doesn't really spoil the film for them because you just say.
I think it does.
Like the otters?
Everything. Like even when I'm making a hand motion to describe. Do you want me to talk about that part?
Just talk about it. Talk about one thing. How about that one thing? How many things did you not like about the film? Was it 3?
I'm going to say 3.
Okay.
I think it's 3.
Just talk about all 3.
Okay.
Now I'm interested. I forgot.
Okay, so let's see. One of them was I felt that there are a few things about this movie that I felt they played really.
Just don't ruin the seashhells.
Okay, I won't talk about the seashells.
Yeah, don't ruin anything involving that.
Okay, I won't talk about that. The first, I felt they played really fast and loose with a lot of things. First of all, the octopus just crawling around, and I'm thinking, does an octopus need water?
He was out of water too long for me. Yeah, I actually thought I was confused for a second because I'm like, I know. Certain marine animals can live and can like survive out of water for not a long, but like a good decent amount of time to get back. He just seemed like he just didn't need it. Yeah, which is strange, as well as like the camouflage. The camouflage is true. It's just that was a more extreme version of it. It was like he was like Randall from Monsters Inc. Like he just completely blends in. Even better than Randall. To some extent, yeah. Wow, yeah. Also, with the fish hopping around in the tanks, like, I gotta hop the tank, and a little bit of that in the first one, but not too much. The thing about the first Finding Nemo was that I could believe this story actually happening, because the way things were happening, from a human perspective, a perspective of a human, you wouldn't notice it. Even when, like, in the first movie, when Nigel... The pelican comes in and wreaks havoc inside the dentist's office. I could just interpret that as like, oh shoot, a pelican got in and can't get out, and he wants to eat my fish. That would be like a perfect, rational human excuse for these extraordinary story, kids movie story things happening. This movie broke that wall for me. Okay. So they played fast and loose with like fishes hopping around in tanks, the octopus not needing water ever. It also Also, when they talk about Cleveland, they talk about if you're in quarantine because a lot of this movie. Oh yeah, first of all, the first thing that took me out of the movie was they go to like this marine aquarium. They're right off basically the perimeter. Yeah, and which they think is probably where Dory's parents are.
and they, and then you hear this voice that says, "Hi, I'm Sigourney Weaver, and welcome to the Marine Institute." And that really took me out of the movie.
Because, like, why Sigourney Weaver?
What? Okay, not so much why Sigourney Weaver. Why did she have to say her name? Like, okay, I get it in that, okay, maybe they paid her, she was paid to, like, use her voice, have her voice being used as, like, an advertising tool, be, like, a spokesperson. But even then, it still took me out of the movie. And I felt like she could have just said, "Hi, welcome to the Marine Institute," and it would just been a voice cameo.
Because it's not like Jurassic Park where she created that aquarium, and so if people are talking with her voice recording like that, it's like, no, she's just a random voice recording.
It's just, "Hi, I'm Sigourney Weaver." Yeah, that took me out. That took me out of the movie.
Okay.
They talk back to the thing about Cleveland. When you go into quarantine, you're either going to be put back in like the aquarium when you get better, or you get transferred to this aquarium in Cleveland. It didn't seem like until the end of the movie that they were meant to set up Cleveland as this place you don't want to go.
Yeah.
They talked about Cleveland as like a nice place. Like, oh, that's a place where we'll go. And even the aquarium they were in, they didn't set it up to be like the villain. Like, oh, you thought this was going to be a completely anti-aquarium film.
It was just too, honestly, now that you're saying it, it's just really just 3 moments.
It's just like the touch pool.
No, it's the touch pool. It's the way those one aquarium workers caught Dory out of the water, and she's trapped. She's stuck in that. Well, she's not stuck. She's just wearing that the Coke can holder plastic thing, and they're like, plastic. "Look at that! No respect for animal life. Let's throw her in an ice cooler." Yeah. And then the second is because of how big a whale shark is. A whale shark should be in a tank that's like 5 times its size.
Speaking of the whale shark, who's voiced by... Who did the voice of the whale shark?
Yeah, she's from Always Sunny. Which was surprising. Yeah. I did not hear that. I didn't even register that.
Yeah,
and Caitlin Olsen.
Caitlin Olsen, and the dad from the other...
Oh, Ty
Burrell.
Yeah.
Ty Burrell played...
Bailey was funny. Bailey felt like, to me, like a Patton Oswalt character.
Yes.
That's why I loved it.
I was surprised it was Ty Burrell. I thought he was like... I thought it was like Bill Hader.
Bill Hader is actually the fish, is the husband fish that Dory runs to at the very beginning of the movie.
Oh, that was Bill Hader. Okay.
In the seaweed, yeah.
Oh, nice voice cameo there. Another problem and this is another example of that sort of wall, that metaphorical wall I talked being broken in this movie. You know, they poke their heads, Bailey and...
Destiny.
Destiny, the whale shark. They poke their heads out of the water, like, many times... And they're just, like, chatting with each other, poking their heads. And people are looking at it, and all of a sudden that realism element...
Oh, because in real life you'd be like, that's weird.
Why are they moving their mouths to each other?
Why is a beluga whale and a whale shark talking intimately?
On the surface. Why aren't they doing it underneath? Yeah, that was like... Yeah, that wall of realism was broken for me.
And I don't think you can use that type of... You can't use sonar above water.
Apparently he did, but
because it was echolocation. It
was like echolocation, yeah.
That's sonar. Anyway, keep going.
Yeah, okay. Where was I going? Yeah. Okay, now we'll get to the big one. There's a car chase in this movie. There's a full-on car chase in which the octopus is driving a truck. It looks like a Ford, because I've seen trucks that look exactly like that.
It's it didn't have common stock delivery truck.
Yeah, it looked like it was manufactured by Ford, just because I've seen that exact look. Anyway, an octopus is driving the truck, and Dory's in a jar, facing the road, and is giving directions to the octopus, causing mayhem! Like, they're driving on the oncoming lane at one point. I'm serious. An octopus is driving a big fucking truck full of fish that are about to be delivered to Cleveland. An octopus is driving a truck. And Dory is giving directions because the octopus cannot see while driving. And they're causing mass accidents.
Oh, like breaking news accidents.
Yes, like the kind that you would say, breaking news on Channel 5.
That shuts down.
We got our sky cam on the helicopter, and we got this crazy truck on the loose. Now, I know this isn't the first time Pixar's done something like this in a film.
Toy Story 2.
I was actually thinking of Toy Story 2. Toy Story 2 I felt was more subtle. It wasn't as over the top.
Well, there wasn't that much mayhem. They just bumped a couple things.
Like, there was the thing with the cones where they're walking as the cones, and it's like, alright, maybe they don't see, the drivers don't see them walking that much, but it's like, oh, shoot, cones!
Yeah.
And they cause a big mass accidents. But that was kind of funny.
Well, because that felt more of like a skit idea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
And it was also funny in that, the humans will never know what the hell happened.
Nope.
The secret is still safe. The secret that toys can come alive is still safe. But this is like, okay, the workers know that an octopus just hijacked their truck.
They saw it, yeah.
They saw it. So that separation of human world and fish world broken, which didn't help me that much.
Okay.
I felt like that could have been handled a lot better. I felt like it was a little contrived. And then they drive the truck over a cliff. Which at first I'm screaming, littering. Because they dumped it in the ocean. A truck thrown off a cliff into the ocean. And they make it this funny yet happy moment when all the fish that were inside the truck are flying out of their tanks into the water. And they're like, oh, we're free!
But they were happily ready to go to Cleveland. They were actually content.
They were happily ready to go to Cleveland, yeah.
Okay.
They didn't, which was strange. Like, that would have been a better payoff if they set up Cleveland to be this bad place.
I get what you mean.
If they really went back to what Gil said in the first Finding Nemo, fish are not meant to be in a box, kid. It does things to you. I thought they were gonna expand on that in this movie, and they really didn't. I read into it later that it made that the ending had to be changed because Blackfish came out. Remember that the documentary about the
dolphin one?
No, it's a documentary about how SeaWorld mistreated their killer whales.
That's
that
Blackfish.
caused SeaWorld to change their entire business model.
Yeah.
So that movie obviously that movie had a huge impact. I saw it myself, and I don't really blame anyone. Blame society for sort of. Anyway, it's a good documentary.
Okay.
But that documentary came out, and the ending had to be changed. And I wonder if the ending was like, all right, now we have to free all the fish, because we didn't need all this fish to be freed. We just need Dory to get back to her parents.
Yeah.
We didn't even need the octopus to be freed. The octopus wanted to go to Cleveland, and he was fine being alone, but they set it up like, no, you know what? You're so busy being alone. You need to be back with your family.
But he was just doing it because of Dory. He just had a soft spot for Dory.
He's like, whatever.
But I get what you mean. Okay, I can see what you mean, though. I get what you mean.
So...
Okay.
Yeah, too much payoff.
This is actually kind of funny. Like, this is the first movie that I have no complaints.
Okay.
And I thought it was funny because you have such good complaints.
I have...
This is interesting. This is really interesting. For a movie that I wasn't excited for at all,
yeah,
I came out like, that was awesome, and you have complaints, and you were excited.
And you know what? And I don't want to complain about this movie.
No, it was good.
It was like, I'm just battling with myself, like... I, for the most part, really like this movie. I like the story it was telling. I just have a problem with the climax.
But I do understand what you mean about the octopus. I just threw that to the side after a while because I'm like, it's just that octopus. Maybe he's that determined to get to Cleveland. But I get what you mean about the octopus. Mm-hmm. That's the car chase scene. Yeah, because it was a little long. I'm like, okay, I can see that. To me, it didn't take me out of it. But I looking back on it, I see what you mean, and I see it.
Yeah. It's but that's all I have. I don't hate this movie.
It was great.
This isn't like with Force Awakens where you hate it. You and Alex ganged up on me and hated that film, and I was the only one.
I can't watch it. I never want to watch it again, but I know I'm going to, for reasons unknown to me. But
I watched it again. I still love it.
I'm glad. Like I say, I'm glad people like it. I just don't. But this movie was good. We're seeing on. We saw it regular 2D, but I bet it's phenomenal on IMAX 3D, especially Piper.
Yes.
I bet.
Yeah, I think Piper would look great in 3D.
IMAX 3D. I bet this movie too, because it's in the ocean. The way it is better effects than last time Finding Nemo, obviously because of the 13-year gap. But this movie's worth seeing in any type of format, any type of ticket price, theater, whatever you have be, and it's obviously worth buying in any format.
Yes.
Obviously, we highly recommend Blu-ray.
I'm totally buying it on Blu-ray.
If some people who can't do it 2D, but highly recommend Blu-ray. It's great. It's phenomenal. It's a great family film. But it gets deep.
It gets deep, yeah.
It gets deep on a really good level, and it's really fun. The script's great.
Yeah.
The voice acting is phenomenal once again, as always.
Great voice acting. Ellen DeGeneres, wow.
Yeah, she's really, really.
Like if there was an Oscar for voice acting,
this should be. Yeah.
She should be nominated and probably win.
Yeah.
You know how much I like this movie, despite my gripes. I had to use the bathroom right when the movie started.
Oh, you told me, and you held it for 2.5 hours?
I held it. I don't think it was that long, but I think it was 90 minutes.
Not 2.5 hours, but it was a little over 90.
Pixar movies are usually like 90 minutes.
But add on Piper, so it was a little over.
A little over, plus the trailers and all that. Well, I think I actually had to go. Did I have to go when Piper started? Anyway, I held it through the entire run. Granted, I can do that for a lot of movies, as I hinted in the Warcraft review, but I was willing to sit it for this movie because I enjoyed it enough. And I might even like it better the second time. This is the first time I saw it, and I'm just thinking of the things I didn't like. But I'm sure if I see it again, when I see it again, because you go to my house, I have every single Pixar film.
Yeah,
I'm a completionist. So I'm definitely even the bad ones. Like I have Cars 2 and I have Brave. Hate those. Yeah, it's a good sequel outing.
It's a really good story. This one I feel goes farther journey wise than the first one. Because even this one, Marlon says that's across the entire ocean. Because they're closer to
Australia.
They're closer to the Australian coast, to Sydney, than in this one. Because in this one, they go all the way straight to San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
So because even Marlon says that's across the entire ocean.
The irony of that is that it took an entire movie in Finding Nemo to get to Sydney, and they get to California in like a few
ride, basically.
It's still the first act of the film by the time they get there.
Yeah, and it's this one takes you on a miles wise a longer journey, and it's still great. It is a different set because obviously the first Finding Nemo is more about the bond between his son and his. It was obviously around a father and son, and they took that and how a father, after losing his wife tragically and most of his kids, how he turned how to do both mom and dad, but in a stereotypical setting, did the mother role more, paranoia, protecting.
Yeah.
And how he grow, and we still see the end of his growth at the end of this film. And with this movie, it was just about someone trying to accomplish something,
overcome their disadvantage.
Yeah, overcome their disability.
Yeah.
And what was nice, and it's really nice, and the ending was very sweet. It was a nice bow tie to this 2-movie series. It was a nice little bow tie on that.
Please don't make a third.
Yeah, don't.
What are you going to do this time? Finding Marlon?
Yeah.
What does he have to look forward to?
Yeah, this is it. This was a perfect ending to just that whole universe.
Yeah. To call this a sequel, I think would be... It's a spinoff.
Yeah,
like Marlon and Nemo are in it, but it is a spinoff because it's about a different character.
It's like when Joey got his own TV show. It's a spinoff.
But better than that. Better. I don't know if that was a good example.
but it's like that because
I think Frasier's a better example.
It's the funny character.
Yeah.
What I mean is it's a comic relief character. It's the comic relief plucky character, the one that has the most funniness and you love the most. Mm-hmm. Getting its limelight, and that doesn't always work. No, and it's been done so many times, and so many times it's failed. And this time it worked. It worked perfectly. She can be a standalone character. Yeah. So that wraps it up. Please go see this. Take your family members, any age and any format. It is worth putting the time out to go see this movie. I'm Tom Flores. I'm Travis Baker. Thank you for joining us once again on Combo Number 2. Catch you on the next time. Bye. Bye.